There are 2 evils among all characters. Find and kill them. Out of these characters, I have 4 villagers, 1 outcast, 1 minion, and 1 demon. So Counselor could give an extra outcast. Plague Doctor could make villages corrupted. And the Doppelganger could disguise as a good villager, but also be a good guy. So we have a Wretch, who registers as a random evil minion. Confessor says they're good. And while it technically could be a Doppelganger, the Doppelganger is also good. So I'll just mark that as good. Jester, I can pick 3 characters, learn how many are evil. Plague Doctor says a good villager is corrupted. So that's 2 outcasts. Ah, haha, that's a Plague Doctor. I am the original baker? So the random good villager becomes a baker? Are you telling me that 7 becomes a baker now? Is that the idea? I was an alchemist. What do the alchemists do? Cure villagers of corruption. Well, now I won't know how many he cured. Okay, so really it's about the Plague Doctor and Wretch. The Doppelganger cannot disguise as a Plague Doctor because the Plague Doctor is an outcast. So we also know that the baker succeeded at the role, so we know they're both good. Also, because we have Counselor, that means we have to have 2 outcasts, which means the 3rd outcast is evil. Doesn't that mean a non-outcast is evil? Or the Wretch is actually an evil? Okay, we could check to see if the Jester is corrupted. 4 is evil, 3 is corrupted. Well, of course you would say 4 is evil. They're the other Plague Doctor. I guess I could see what 4 says. Would I really do on Jester, though? I actually kind of wish I'd done the Plague Doctor on the Baker. Just this, almost as a check for the Plague Doctor, since I already know the Baker is not corrupted. Actually, I will still check the Jester again. Right, okay, so number 3 is not corrupted. Guess they would differ, but then I could use the Jester to check 3 good characters. See what it ends up saying. There are 2 evils among those 3, huh? Unless the Jester is saying it would be 6 and 7. Is that even possible? Yeah, that's impossible to be true. We know there is 1 evil among these 2. So there can at most be 1 evil among these 3 if there was some fuckery going on. But this is not true. So they're either corrupted or evil. Oh, and actually, shit, that doesn't help with the Plague Doctors. Jester could be evil. If Jester is evil, then this Plague Doctor would also be evil. But if Jester was corrupted, then 5 would be good. And then 4 and 1 would be evil. So I guess I can do a 50-50. Right, so here 3 and 5 or 4 and 1. So I'll start with killing 4. Alright, good guy. It's fine, get you. That's the Counselor, and then the Jester must die. Yeah, I should have picked someone better with the Plague Doctor, but you can afford to do a 50-50. There are 2 same villager roles in current village? Oh god, so I really can't be using duplicates to my advantage now. Yeah, because yeah, if you take a 50-50 and lose HP, HP comes back to the start of the next village. Closest evil is clockwise. Shaman is 2 cards away from closest evil. And Shaman's a demon. And from closest evil means the closest evil to the Shaman is 2 cards away from it, is what it's saying. Confessor is good. Good job. I'm not coming across many evils here, Enlightened. Unless if the Scout is evil. Let me check 8. I'm 2 cards away from a corrupted character. The only possible corruption in this is the Drunk. I'm corrupted and I lied, but still a good guy. Could be number 6. Technically, I don't know. Okay, checking 7. So there's the other Enlightened, huh? And there might be a Shaman, so because of the Shaman, we can actually have 2 Enlightened. Oh god, there's a 3rd Enlightened. That's not what I was hoping for. Let me just reveal all these. I was a Bard? I'm sorry, what? That's not possible. Where's the other Baker? Yeah, don't you need like a normal Baker in order to get a Baker that was a Bard? I mean, you could just be drunk. You get the sus tag. All right, so at least 1 Enlightened is evil. How do I cut through the fat here? Let's operate under the idea that the Baker is the drunk. Then the Bard is just wrong, because that's the only corruption that could be possible. You would have to be lying. And then Enlightened and Enlightened would also be lying? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. I would have 3 evils, right? Isn't that the only way we can have lies here? Yeah, there's only 3 possible liars. So I guess actually then the Baker can't be the drunk. Well, if the Baker can't be the drunk, should I not just be able to kill him then? Yeah, my understanding is that it's either the drunk, which I proved it's not, or evil. So it's evil. Okay, nice. Closest evil is clockwise, my ass. Well, again, I don't think you can be the drunk for the same reason. Because then the bard would be lying, and we'd have more liars. I think I'll just kill this bottom enlightened. Everything else would make sense. Wait a second. Except for the scout. Oh, unless the scout is drunk. The scout could be drunk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the enlightened's evil, the scout is drunk. There we go. Nice. All right. This is interesting. Random adjacent villager becomes a puppet. It's evil, but cannot lie. A truth-telling evildoer. Holy shit. One of these three is evil. Wait, how does Empress work? If lies, all characters in my info are good. Oh, okay. So we can't have 2 or more of 7, 5, and 4 being evil. 7, who says is an evil adjacent. 5, who allegedly cured a corruption. And 4, there's a plague doctor. There's 1 outcast and 3 minions. Minion, poisoner, with 1 corruption, and puppeteer, which might even make a 4th evil. Okay, but there can't be an additional outcast, so either the plague doctor is evil, or there's no doppelganger. Okay, let's check the adjacent to lover. Second lover, There is a doppelganger, so there could be a corruption, but the alchemist would have cured both of these of corruption, allegedly. So I guess these could both be telling the truth if 8 is evil. Gemcrafter says 2 is good. Yeah? Other Gemcrafter says 1 is good. Holy crap. I'm actually sus of 8, 1, and 2. Because if 7, 5, and 4 are all good, well, but then we have either evil or corruption. All right, let me just look at the others. Got a judge, find out if character's lying, and a scout. Minion is 2 cards away from the closest evil. That could mean 8 is the minion. I mean, here's the thing. We have 2 duplicates and a plague doctor. So that immediately puts heat on all of you. And then 1 by extension. All right, we need to generate some real combinations here. What if alchemist is telling you the truth and good? Then we can't actually easily prove anything. Okay, what if alchemist is evil? Well, then the lover is one of 2 things. Actually, then the empress is for sure good. And plague doctor is good and lover is good, but could be corrupted. Well, since plague doctor would have to be good, then the other lover would have to be evil and not a doppelganger. So evil and good. So now there has to be an evil amongst the Gemcrafter because we can't have a doppelganger. This lover could be corrupted because Gemcrafter could be evil. See, I was thinking we could go evil and corrupted, but I don't think it lines up. The way it would line up would be this lover telling the truth, this Gemcrafter being corrupted, this Gemcrafter being evil. Why would this Gemcrafter be telling the truth? It's because it would be the bonus evil, and Judge would be evil. Well, then what about the Scout? Scout would have to be corrupted, but that's impossible. So back this up. Is it possible then to have a corrupted and an evil who's telling the truth because this Gemcrafter is good, and that would make Scout evil. And then I guess technically Judge could be corrupted. It's possible. Okay, so that's 1 combo. What are the others? Let's try... Okay, what if the Plague Doctor is evil? Well, then 5 and 7 are both good. There could be a doppelganger. Empress could be a truth-telling evil. So I'll put 1 of the 2. This lover would be telling the truth. But then we'd have 2 good lovers. Unless if... No, this can't be the bonus. Can't be the bonus evil because it has to be adjacent to another evil. Could be a doppelganger. Give her the D. Then Gemcrafter here would have to be evil. Could be the bonus. Actually, there's a lot of possibilities here. What if then 2 is also evil? And then Judge and Scout are just good? Both Gemcrafters are minions? Unless if I'm misunderstanding something about the rules of the game, this looks very possible. Okay, both times 8 is evil. What if 8 is good? But they could be corrupted. And then it starts branching out way too far. Okay, what if this Empress is evil and lying? Then we'd have 3 good guys. And no doppelganger, so this lover would have to be evil. And then Gemcrafter would have to be good. But maybe corrupted. Yeah, no doppelganger. I would suspect then we would have corrupted and evil. But this would probably be the bonus. Well, this couldn't be the bonus evil. Because then we would at first need 2 good Gemcrafters and then 1 becomes a puppet. That doesn't really work. Just my issue with this right now is the scout. Scout could be corrupted, actually. This is fine. Judge could be the bonus evil. Shit, that is possible. Just like that, anyone could be evil except for 7 so far. So what if 7 were evil? Well, then this Empress would be telling the truth, or a bonus. So possibility. But 5 and 4 would definitely have to be good. So no doppelganger. 'Cause actually, I'm pretty sure then 6 would have to be evil. And 8? Wait, but how would we have the bonus? Okay, Empress would probably have to be good then. Okay, how about I just mark Empress as good and then mark the bonus evil later? So good and good. This lover is evil, then this gem crafter would be evil. But you would probably have to be telling the truth, because this gem crafter is telling the truth. No, but then again, you can't start with 2 gem crafters. Make one a puppet. You can't do that. Okay, what if Alchemist is corrupted, Plague Doctor is good, and Lover is corrupted? Then Gem Crafter could be good. This Gem Crafter could be the bonus evil. Judge could be evil. And Scout's wrong. Nope, and again, the whole bonus evil dilemma. So 7 is always a good guy, but could be confused. Okay, I think if you add everything up, thinking 3 and 4 can't be on the same team. But it is possible for 3 to be corrupted. So I think I'm actually going to check on the final case. If 8 is corrupted, then it would be 1, 2, and 6. So let's see. 5 is evil, 8 is corrupted. Is that possible? I think 4 is evil. So when 5 is evil, I had 3 and 7 be corrupted. And Plague Doctor can't be corrupted, so I think they're just evil. I don't even think I need to use the judge here. Die. Nice. Okay, so that means adjacent villager is corrupted. Okay, yeah, so 5 probably got corrupted. But that was the only corruption, so everyone else was kind of telling the truth. That should point out 2 and 8 then. I could use 3 to check if, like, 2 is lying. Yeah, 2 is lying. Okay, so it's going to be 2 and 8 with the side of 1. There's Puppeteer, yep. That checks out. This is the Minion, who is 2 cards away from the closest evil, who is the Empress, who is the Puppet. The tough thing about this was I wasn't sure if I'd found all the combinations. So I kept like searching and searching and searching. I spent way too fucking long on that. Okay, 2 outcasts, 2 minions. A lot of minion potential. Oh, and a Puppeteer again. But thankfully, no doppelganger. Rich. Slayer. Okay, I could execute an evil. Free shot. 8 or 5 is a Puppeteer. Oh yeah, what's 5 doing? That's some Bombardier. Interesting. And 8 is a Plague Doctor. So, yeah, that can't have 3 outcasts. Take a look at 4. That's another Plague Doctor. Well, how many outcasts are we able to have? 4 or 6 as a counselor? Why'd you point at yourself? Oh, wait, no. With counselor, never mind. We're going to have 3 outcasts. Okay, but we definitely can't have 4. And we definitely can't have a second Oracle. So you smell like a counselor, but I guess I can't prove it yet. 7. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Okay, another pointing towards the this being the counselor. Or there is one poison character out there. One of these must be evil. And then, actually, I'm pretty sure both of these have to be good. Because we do need 3 outcasts. Yeah, I think we can actually hard confirm these guys. So, Bombardier cannot be a Puppeteer. Alright, let's consider some real options. We can clear all this out. Let's say this Oracle is telling you the truth. Then 8 would have to be a Puppeteer. And then this Plague Doctor would have to be good. And then this Enlightened would have to be lying at the minimum. 4 or 6 is a counselor. I think that has to be, well, it has to be confused, I think. Because the only evil left is the counselor or the puppet. But basically, the Oracle is saying that they're a counselor. Because it can't be the Plague Doctor. And I think that would mean they would have to be confused. So, therefore, that would mean this Enlightened would in fact be evil. And the Oracle would be confused. So the Enlightened would be the counselor. And if 8 is the Puppeteer, it would have no one to puppet. So the Slayer would be good. Okay, that's one possibility. What if 3 was not telling the truth? That would mean 8 is not a Puppeteer, but they could be a counselor. If 8 is somehow the counselor, then we would have 2 confusions, which is not possible then. Therefore, 8 must be good. I guess 4 could be the counselor then? Okay, there could be a world in which the 4 is the counselor, 3 is the puppeteer. But then Slayer would have to be the puppet. 6 would be correct. And 7 would be confused because it would be saying equidistant. This lines up. I feel like there's some other options. What if from here, 4 is the puppeteer and 3 is the counselor? Then there would be no puppets. So Oracle would actually be confused. And then these 2 would be correct. Yeah, that would line up. And then third possibility, what if the Oracle is just confused? Like, neither of which are the puppeteer, but the Oracle's not a bad guy. Well, couple options. Let's just say that we have good guy and then evil then. I think we could actually have 6 be evil technically as well. So 4 could be the puppeteer. No, but then 6 would be the counselor. No, 6 and 4 cannot be the 2 evils. Actually, here's a question. Could the same villager be hit with the puppet and the confusion? No, this corrupts good villagers. So the other option from here is the Plague Doctor is the counselor, which would make this Plague Doctor good. And then this Oracle would have to be the puppeteer. But then this would just be wrong. Yes, that doesn't line up either. Therefore, Oracle is either good telling the truth or evil lying. No confusion. Also, I guess I kind of missed out the possibility where 8 and 7 would be evil, with 6 being confused. I don't think this actually works, because 8 would have to be the puppeteer, 7 would be the counselor. The counselor needs to be next to the outcast. So actually, that's just not possible. Pretty sure 3 has to be evil then. Yeah, die 3. 3 is the puppeteer, which means that the Slayer must be the puppet. And 7 is confused, and 4 is the Plague Doctor. I could check, make sure 7 is confused. Yeah, yep. 2 is evil, 4 is corrupted. Awesome. Okay. Slow and steady wins a race. Learn a character is affected by an evil ability. The Witness. 2 outcasts, 1 minion, 1 demon. A lot of possibilities. Oh god, the Doppelganger's back. And the Poisoner. Oh, and Puka. So we got guaranteed corruption, and there's a Plague Doctor. There's 2 outcasts. So actually there has to be a Poisoner and Puka. That's nasty. And if we see only 1 outcast, then there's a Doppelganger in play. Or is a real Architect. Left side is more evil. These could both be evil. Let's say they're good. Let's take a look at 2. Bombardier. Checks out. And there's only 1 pair of evil. And that means there's 1 set of evils right next to each other. Allegedly. That is lining up to a left side evil. This probably doesn't count as either. Learn an evil role. If evil is picked, learn the correct info. Interesting. What about 5? 2 cards away from a corrupted character. Alright, there's still potentially so much corruption. Medium? Oh, number 5 is a real bard. Well, it could be a doppelganger. There's a Plague Doctor. Okay, and a bishop. Between 7, 2, and 6, there is outcast, villager, and minion. Okay, it's possible for an evil to be pretending to be an outcast, and then the real outcast is doppelganger. Let's think about possibilities. If this medium is evil, then this architect is either evil or a doppelganger. And then actually, we don't know if the statement is true or false. Similar to 6, they're evil. Bard is either evil or... Bard cannot be a doppelganger, so... Oh wait, neither can the architect. Okay, hold up. If evil, then evil. And we would have corrupted and corrupted again. Okay, Poisoner and Puka only get adjacent villagers. That's important. But the bishop could still be hit by the Plague Doctor. And 2 cards away from corrupted character. I guess this would be telling the truth. And medium would be a good guy. And then I think this Plague Doctor would actually have to be good in order to corrupt the bishop. That's the only possible way. Then architect would have to be Poisoner to just get Knitter. And then medium would have to be Puka, so Dreamer would have to be corrupted. And good guy. That is possible. Okay, what happens actually if the bishop is wrong? If lies, all characters, my info are villagers? Wait a second, that changes a lot. How is it possible for both 7 and 2 to actually be villagers? That's not possible. They're both outcasts. Okay, so you're always telling me the truth then. In fact, it's not possible for someone presenting as an outcast to be a villager. So between the Plague Doctor and Bombardier, one is outcast and one is minion. Therefore, 6 is a villager. Who says 5 is a real bard. I mean, could be corrupted. It's possible. So actually, since we know that one of these two is not an outcast, there's only one visible outcast, which means there must be a doppelganger. So if 6 is a villager, that would mean 1 is the doppelganger, who's good. And as far as I'm aware, doppelganger actually tells the truth. So 4 is a real architect. Or could they be corrupted? Okay, well, let's start going through the possibilities of 7 versus 2. If 7 is the minion, that would mean the medium actually has to be poisoned. So 5 is not a real bard. Can't be a doppelganger. So they're also evil. That would actually mean the architect is telling the truth. And 4 is a real architect. You're telling the truth, but I believe that would make you the doppelganger. But still telling the truth. There would not be one pair of evil. But this is starting to make less and less sense. Because the bard would have to be Puka. So architect would have to be corrupted. That doesn't make sense. That would mean Plague Doctor would be the outcast. Bombardier would be evil. And actually, I mean, we can just start going with that right away. It's not possible for the Plague Doctor to be evil. We narrowed it down actually really quickly. Of course, if I'm wrong, they get executed. So maybe I could use Dreamer to see what evil role they'd be. How would that actually help me, though? If it's wrong, it's still wrong. How about I just use Plague Doctor to verify? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything stupid. Bombardier, evil. Plague Doctor, good. Bombardier would have to be the minion. So I guess it could be either of them. It would not be possible for left side to be more evil anymore. So you're either corrupted or evil. If you're evil, there would not be one pair of evil. You would be corrupted. Architect would have to be Puka, so Bard would be corrupted. But Bard would also be telling the truth. So that doesn't make any sense. Therefore, you would have to be corrupted. Bard, again, would not be telling the truth. Let me check how the Bard works. All right, learn from how far from closest corrupted character. That is important. Let's start with evil. Medium would be corrupted. And the knitter would be corrupted. This checks out, actually. Yeah, Puka hits. And the minion hits. Medium would be telling you the truth as the doppelganger. That makes sense. And then Dreamer would be good. All right, let's have Dreamer hit Bard. There's no reason the Dreamer would be backing up the Bard as evil. So if the Dreamer pings the Bard as Puka, then we're good, I think. Poisoner? Oh, wait, no, Dreamer still actually could be corrupted because of Plague Doctor. Okay, actually, that wasn't that helpful. Yeah, all right, because now Poisoner doesn't make any sense, actually. Dreamer has to be corrupted or evil. Okay, but yeah, Dreamer couldn't be evil because they'd have to be Puka, and Puka would make the Bishop corrupted, and the Bishop is not corrupted. But I think the Dreamer's just corrupted, and we're killing the Bombardier. Hell yeah. And the Bard's Puka. Sometimes it just pays to be extra safe. Oh, wait, learn random info. That's ominous. 2 minions and 1 demon? Oh, and a doppelganger. So there's Puppeteer and Shaman and Ba. Ba is actually not that big a deal. But Shaman and Puppeteer suck for me. Evil but cannot lie. You can have 2 of the same villagers. That's brutal. 2 evils adjacent to me. Oh, really? Got a Slayer and a Hunter, who says they're 1 card away from the closest evil. Well, that, the Confessor is good. Awesome. You're good. So the Hunter is saying that the Lover is evil. And the Lover is saying the Hunter is evil. And the Slayer, I guess. So actually, either the Slayer's power is useless, or I could use the Slayer to execute the Lover. Because, like, if the Slayer is evil, then their power wouldn't even matter. And we can find out some valuable information here. Let's get it. That's Ba. Ha-ha! All right. Well, so Hunter is just straight up telling the truth. And you can't be the puppet, so you're just good. Well, and you worked, so you're good. So, good start. Unless if actually Slayer is the puppet, that's possible. What about this? That's another Slayer, huh? Okay, well, we could test out your power in a bit. Alchemist who allegedly cured a corruption from a potential Plague Doctor. Okay, I'll need to see the Plague Doctor first. That's a Bombardier, who would allegedly be the only outcast. That's another Bombardier. Okay, that's pretty sus. There's the Plague Doctor. Okay, so actually, we know that both these slayers are real villagers, thanks to the shaman rule. So we know that you're good, but you might be corrupted. As a matter of fact, 2 of these are the evil. So it's going to be one of the bombardiers, or both, and then the alchemist cured of corruption from the real plague doctor. And then we have a puppet. I'm pretty sure I could just try Slayer on a bombardier. Yeah, let's just try. Nice, hit a shaman. So that would mean one of you two is the puppeteer. So the plague doctor can't be the puppeteer, because then the confessor would be the puppet and would then say they're dizzy. I guess it's got to be the bombardier. I don't think there's any corruption, because the alchemist cured it. I can make sure this guy isn't just lying. Like, we know the confessor is not corrupted. Yeah. I think it's just the other bombardier. Cool. And no puppet. Nice, not even needing notes. At night, kill a random unrevealed character, deal 2 damage to me. When is night? Oh, night cycle. When I reveal a card, the clock ticks. After 4 ticks, the night falls. Oh no. Oh no, okay, so I gotta be careful with revealing. 1 is evil, 8, 9, or 3. Also, 1 outcast, 2 minions, 1 demon. So there is a shaman, duplicate villager roll, and a minion, and the Lilith, and 1 corruption. Okay, so I feel like someone's gonna have to die. Does 3 seem evil? I cured 2 corruptions. Oh, did ya? I count 1 possible corruption. Now, it's possible that it could be you that's corrupted, or evil. Let me check 8. There's only 1 pair of evil. Okay, well, someone's about to die. I don't like this. That's scary. There's a plague doctor. 6 died, so can I even... Oh, I can't reveal their role? Okay. Well, they were good. Plague doctor could have hit alchemist. Let me check 2. Witness. Number 2 is affected by an evil. How is that even possible? Shaman, maybe. I guess if there's a second witness, that could make sense. Confessor's good. Cool. I think I need to keep revealing at least a little bit. Got a dreamer. Not seeing any duplicates. It's possible 6 could have been a duplicate. Maybe the witness was corrupted? I could check to see if the witness was corrupted. But what if the plague doctor's evil? Empress is kind of pointing in that direction. Well, it's not possible for both plague doctor and alchemist to be evil. So, plague doctor could check to see if alchemist is corrupted or evil? Yeah, actually, I think that's a good shot. Not corrupted. Okay, therefore they're evil. Well, unless the plague doctor is evil and the alchemist is corrupted. Well, but then 7 would have to be a plague doctor? Or 6. Wait, who can die? Any random unrevealed character. But she'll prioritize killing good characters first. Which could be the real plague doctor. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, this lack of information now makes it tricky. So 6 had to be good, for the record. I feel like I had to get the dreamer info just so they don't die. Or just so I can get it before they potentially die. Oh, well that actually, since we know either 3 or 9 is evil, we know that 8 has to be good. They could be corrupted, but they are good. Maybe I'll use dreamer on 2. Maybe I can get some info potentially. 2 could be Lilith. Would that matter? I don't think that's actually valuable. Alright, let's see what happens. I was a dreamer? Oh! Oh, the kill doesn't happen because there's no other unrevealed characters. But I still lost 2 HP. So Baker was a dreamer. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're just straight up lying then. Lying or evil. Oh yeah, we also know that Empress is good. So, here's the thing with Knitter. There's only 1 pair of evil. Could be corrupted. Let's just say the Knitter is telling the truth. Based on the positions of everything, the only pair of evil can be the Witness and the Alchemist. So we would have evil, evil, and then good. And I don't know what's happening with 5 or 7. I mean, we could have corruption on either. Let me consider the other option, actually. What if the Alchemist is just corrupted, and this was like the original Plague Doctor right here, and this Plague Doctor is evil? Well then, since there's only 1 corruption, 2 would have to be evil, because they can't be corrupted. The Baker would have to be evil, and the Knitter would have to be evil, because again, only 1 corruption. That doesn't line up. But this setup is not possible. We would have to have evil, good. But then I have no idea what the hell is going on with these two. One evil, one corrupted. I guess we could see who 2 is. That would probably help. I will kill you. Shaman. Okay, let me get the alchemist too. Minion. So the baker could be corrupted. 2 could be Lilith. I picked an evil, but I learned the wrong info. So either Dreamer is evil or Dreamer is corrupted. I feel like it's a 50-50. Also, where was the dupe? I guess 6 had to have been a duplicate. Wait, can I keep going? Wait, why was I able to use their ability again? It's not because like a night passed, right? Anyway, 3 was not Lilith. I think I just need to kill an innocent here. We'll try you. All right, you're corrupted, so then it's the baker. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that could have been narrowed down. The only thing different is maybe playing the Plague Doctor differently way back in the day, but either way, that's a win. And I didn't lose a heart, so, you know, life is a resource. On to Essential Level 4. Oh God, we're starting with 3 evils. This is gonna be a nightmare.